They can hear us.
Hello.
They can hear us, right? Hi, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay.
Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
Where is it 5 a.m.? Middle of the Atlantic. No, middle of the country.
Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish.
Yeah.
Let's talk about fish. Fish. Hello, Mary. Mary, try and sort this one out. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the things that we. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that can be. Let's talk about fish. Fish. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Instrumental break. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. 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 Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish. I think that one.
Hi, guys.
Good morning.
How are you, ladies?
Doing well. Oh, Cassie, you look so pretty.
Oh, my.
I felt very fallish today.
Oh, look
so.
at that. She has her earrings on. Aren't they?
Yeah.
That's very glamorous.
Yes,
I don't get to wear any of my earrings anymore.
That's what I thought. My husband was like, he was like, are you ever going to get up and brush your hair anymore? He's so glad I'm on Father Fish. I get up now and get dressed. Let's see. Frank just said he'll be in the shop in just a few minutes. Okay.
Yeah, he's on his way. Jane Doe's having trouble. I'll look into it when I get a minute. I know I unblocked you, Kev, and so I'll have to go back and check, but
Poor
I don't know.
Kevin.
I'll check.
We love you,
Meanwhile,
Kevin.
we know you're Jane Doe. Oh dear. J Dog, hello, hello. Holly Gibbs, hi, Holly. Failed yes, so ready. Okay. Abolished Farms is here. Just DoorDash to 20 long and signed for less than 10 in fees. Who would have ever guessed? Good job. Atkins, hi Atkins. Hat trick. Father Fish is here. Lee, hi there, Lee. A quack list. Okay. A quack list. Got to agree. By the way, Lee, I really believe that you need to be doing live streams with Sue. And you can do them on the same camera. Just have her kind of in back of you. That way she can whack you upside the head or laugh or tassel your hair or whatever she's of a mind to do.
Yeah.
Her content is primarily her laugh, which is more than infectious. It is uproarious. She balances you wonderfully, and I think I think it would take some of the darkness out of your stream and not just lighten things up, but give it a joy that it absolutely deserves.
Right.
So consider finding a way to do that. I would love to come up with you. We can do that, but I really think Sue needs to be an active part of your live streams.
It sounds like she doesn't want to be.
But she already is. I mean, she's back there
She's sleeping a lot.
laughing uproariously, going on and on and on and on. And it's wonderful.
Remember, she used to wouldn't even be in a picture, and now he catches her sometimes on video, and she's not clobbering him. So
Well,
we love you, Sue.
yeah, beat her up a little bit. We love you, Sue. We need more of you, Sue.
I agree. I enjoy seeing Sue.
Me too.
Lee, we're not. We three here are not the Three Stooges. That's a mixed metaphor. I don't know quite what I would describe it as, but the
Three Musketeers.
What?
The Three Musketeers. The Three Musketeers.
Yeah, maybe. There you go. Three amigos, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. That's better.
What else? Frank is on his way. Who else? I'm just scrolling back here. I'm not seeing anything.
Someone
He
says
got another inhuman.
California today.
Yeah, I saw a 5 a.m. comment there. Roxanne's new song. Sent me the link. No.
If she wants to.
Right.
She's going to have to send it to you, Father Fish.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I've not heard from Roxanne in a couple of days. I did about a week ago. I asked her to work on 2 songs. So maybe this is one of them. We'll see. For those of you who don't know, before Roxanne's illness, she was an opera star, an opera singer at least, achieving stardom. She has one of those voices that are just utterly magnificent, still has it. What she lost was the ability to do the deep breathing that's required for that level of singing. But the quality of the voice is still very much there, as you've heard if you've listened to the piece that she has done for us. So we'll look forward to this. This will be exciting. And she sent it to Lee.
Yeah. Lee is our test subject.
I guess.
He gives us confidence, I guess.
Whatever.
If he thinks it's okay, then we're okay, I guess, to share it.
Oh dear. A T-Bone just asked a rather silly question. Says, why do you call your baseball World Series when you don't play against the rest of the world? It's very simple, T-Bone. I thought you'd notice. We are the world.
Yeah, that's right.
Gee, some people, I don't know.
They
just
come here to play in our leagues.
Why? Yeah, I don't want to take that to the next level.
We go scout in other countries for our baseball players.
Well, yeah, we do, like Japan and.
Yeah, it's no longer like an American league. And same could be true for basketball.
When you guys learn how to play ball, and we'll let you play on the team. Guess who's here? Oh, that's not. That's my my tune. Let me put something else there so I don't throw myself.
We're
again.
sort of limited in height here. We need a new league. I've been saying this for years for basketball.
Oh, Lord knows. Well, it looks like we need an American league.
Yeah.
Well, we need a game for giants and a game for the average person.
Yeah, really. They thought about pushing the basket up another foot or even two.
Make the court bigger. It's too small.
11 feet. 12 feet would be a bit much, though, I think.
They need to make the court bigger. You're supposed to run in basketball. And there's a lot of this, holding on to the ball when you're dribbling.
Yeah, right,
because
exactly.
The balls are too big. The ball is too tight. So you got to make the ball bigger. You need to make the hoop bigger. Because it wasn't intended for an average person. And now you got all these big people playing. I don't enjoy it anymore, and I don't watch.
My brother played basketball in high school, and then while he was in the Marines, he was 6'6" at the time, and he watches college ball. He doesn't watch pro ball.
Right.
For that very reason, it's really not a sport. It's really showmanship.
I don't know what they're showing.
We have Glenn Walton here from New Zealand.
And Z, nice. Who is? Oh, that's cool.
Glenn Walton.
Glenn Walton. Who's Ozzy Octane Smith, AJT? Who is that?
I think that's Tiffany's. Is that Tiffany's from All In Tanks? Is that Ozzy?
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. I'm just guessing.
Don't ask me. I get things wrong all the time.
Ozzy Octane. Holly said it got down to 35. Where she is. Where is Holly?
Holly?
I got kind of near you, Mary. Is she closer to you?
Oh, who, Holly?
Yeah.
I'm not
Did
sure.
it get that cold up there?
I know it's
here,
snowing in Montana this morning.
yeah, it's not that cold here.
Ozzy says, yes, that's me.
Okay, that's it.
All in tanks.
Rohan's already got a suggestion for a talk. He's asking about cyanobacteria this morning.
Cyano. Well, yeah, that's a good one, actually. Cyano is an interesting substance. I
I
got
feel
my
like
head
it's more
wrapped around.
common with the sand.
Say what?
I feel like it's more common with the sand substrates.
Yeah, that was the first time that tank that I, just cleaned out. That's what I had all over it where I was gone so long. I'd never seen it like that before. My water lettuce was like full of it.
Yeah, it loves the floating plants.
Yeah.
That was my problem. I had trouble getting rid of it. I had to take out the floating plants.
T-Bone. What's T-Bone referring to as ignorant? Says that's ignorant, isn't it? Fish. What's
I don't know.
Oh, probably about the baseball and the basketball. Is that what it was?
I don't know. He needed to be a little more specific.
Because I think that was the original conversation he was having, wasn't about Americans and the World Series.
Yeah.
Oh, we're calling us ignorant?
No, he was like saying, well, yeah, kind of. He was just like, so. That's ignorant, isn't it? Like that we don't do it. It's just like soccer and football. That one drives me crazy.
Oh, dear.
I don't know. You have to ask whoever named those sports. The problem is they named those sports, and then the rest of us have to just live with the name.
Mm-hmm.
Rohan,
let's see here.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to say that one.
Yeah, it's not a canister. It's just a regular open filter. It's a big barrel with holes in it, and I got a pump in it, and I pump water. No, it pumps outside of it. The pump pumps water into it, and I have it filled with lava rock. And the reason lava rock is because lava rock will not plug up. So the water continues to percolate through it. And it does a good job of creating anaerobic bacteria. It also breaks up waste pretty well. So it actually works really well. The problem with it is you've got to do regular water changes, and that's about I don't know how much water in there, somewhere between 500 gallons and 1,000, and it does not get water changed near enough. But the filter works really well. We've got two of them, one on the red tail, and the other big pond has one for the koi. We put our big Oscars in there in deference to the new pair of flower horns that came in, which are now in the 500, ensconced there, and they are sectioning off the tank. Looks like they're going to be laying eggs sometime soon. Chubbs is here. Hey, Chubbs. Good morning to you.
Alex is here from The Secret Life.
Hi, Alex. Hey, Alex, I have a little, there he is. Tippy top of the morning to you. Hello. Hello to you.
Glenn asked a question, but I'm trying to get a little more information.
Yeah. It's at, where was the timestamp on that one? At 8:16.
8:16.
Yes, sir.
Who, what?
I said, yes, sir. Glenn Walton.
Wet socks. Glenn Walton.
He's asking about sand sizes, I believe. I just wanted him to try to clarify his question at 8:16. Glenn Walton.
I think I got it. Yes, you certainly can. In point of fact, the finer the sand, the better. We tend to want to use a coarser sand. I typically use a coarser sand. The swimming pool filter sand is relatively coarse. The black anthracite sand is pretty coarse.
That's the one I like. I don't like the finer sands any finer than the pool filter.
He said a 0.6 millimeter and smaller.
Yeah, it is finer. I used it. I have used it. It's essentially the play sand or concrete sand. It's very dusty, so you have to wash it a lot to get the dust out, or it'll make your tank cloudy. I like it as a topping on the sand, on the regular sand bed. It gives it a smoother kind of aspect. And I found that it filters every bit as well, so it doesn't seem to have any negative implications. It does have a different look, and I think the texture is a lot of what we're looking for in our tanks. The pool filter sand is kind of boring. I recommend topping it with. You can do any number of things. You can top it with river gravel. That has a really nice look, and gets away from that very persistent sand kind of appearance. But you can do about anything as a top, as a dressing, if you will, for the sand. Yeah, I do want to deal with this this bacteria thing.
Can I say why I don't like the finer sand spotterfish?
By all means.
Yeah, I've tried the pool filter sand, and I've tried the Carib Sea sand, which is powdery. And my plants just are, it's so hard to put the plants in. They just want to come right back out. Like, it doesn't grip the plants.
Oh,
so
that's
it's very frustrating to work with when you're trying to plant.
Yeah, it's finer, and so it's lighter. So it's just a little harder to work with.
Yeah, and if you're trying to do a water change, like, the plants will come back out and you got to deal with it again.
I've never used it exclusively. I've used it as a dressing, but I've never done like 2 inches of fine sand.
Yeah, I could see it on top of the coarse sand, but by itself, it's really hard to work with.
Yeah, good point. That's absolutely true. Because each particle is finer, it's going to be lighter in the water, easier to disturb, and so forth. And we do have enough. We need to probably the excuse me. The optimal fix would be to do a very coarse sand, like a finer gravel, and then cap that with like a pool filter sand. And then if you want to dress that with something, I've never found the need to do that because the pool filter sand it's effective. It works well. It's easy to work with. And the very problem you're describing is one it overcomes. So, yeah, and you're absolutely right, Cass. That's something I would be very sensitive to. If I had had that problem,
Mm-hmm.
I've never had the problem because I've never tried to do it.
Well, I use it in my bowls. So it might be something people don't do a lot. But if you're just buying one bag for a small bowl, then that's why I ran into it.
Makes sense. Now, I have used the colored sand, and the colored sand is extremely fine. It's really almost a powder, so much so that it floats. it's hard to emulsify it. You have to beat it in the water to get it to sink. And I've used a fair amount of that, particularly in betta tanks, but I tend not to plant plants in it, so I really have not run into that problem. Typically in my betta tanks, if they're smallish bowls, I just do maybe half an inch of sand, a floating plant, and with the recognition that if I run into a problem, I'm going to clean the whole thing. So it's really not an attempt to create a balanced tank. Whereas what you've been doing is creating balanced bowls.
Right. Nano life.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, my intention was to put nanofish in there, and then I saw the beta fish first. And we got the beta.
You know, I did that with this tank
It's
in
so
back.
adorable and pretty.
I started. Get my.
I really wanted to put shrimp in there, but now that I've got the beta, I haven't put any shrimp in.
I am tangled up here. I'm trying to untangle so we can look at these.
Okay.
Get down there. I started this tank out.
Alex says he might join us
Oh,
in a
good.
little while.
We'd like to see them. I'm sure Father Fish would like to have them up.
Alex?
Oh, yeah. Grandson fish.
Oh, good.
Yeah. He said let him wake up.
Where's
Yeah.
everybody?
I don't
There
think
they
we-
are. I started this out with a betta, and now it's guppies,
Mhm.
and they're all hiding.
Yeah, I think I need you to save me betta number 17.
Oh no! Are you making a aquarium ready for that one?
Yep. If it's not sold before I can get there.
Yeah.
I know Cash walks and you know what else, or Cash talks and the other walks. So it just depends on when I get paid.
Let's see. Let me run something by the shoal here for a minute. Thomas and I have been talking about membership, and we've come up with an idea to do 3 levels of membership. They would be, oh golly, 3 shoaling fish. So the first would be mullet, and the second would be barracuda, and the third would be, what's the big game fish with the big mouth? God, my brain's gone. Tarpon. Yeah. The mullet, barracuda, and tarpon would be the 3 levels. For benefits, we're thinking about the first benefit would be for $5 a month, either Patreon or YouTube, the ability to play back the live streams. Cass has already registered some concern about that because what she's noticed is that we get 4 times as many people looking at the streams after they're completed as we do people on the streams, and that's true. The issue from my perspective is that I don't make a penny on live streams except whatever money is donated through Super Chat, and very often that's nothing. On average, it's nothing. There are 2 or 3 people who have been extremely generous with Super Chats. Aquarium Cop certainly chief among them. But barring that, it doesn't, it's a substantial investment of time for no financial return. And a membership is all about financial return and special benefits to members. So anyway, that would be the first or one of the three categories. The second category would be vlogs. We're thinking about doing, we're going to start next week doing daily vlogs. Thomas is going to do one, and I'm going to do one. There'll be about a 5-minute wrap up to the day. It may take on its own life. It may fall flat. Don't know, but we're going to try to do that. The third category is a 20-minute consultation with either Thomas or me once a month. And the rates for that would be $5, $10, and $20. The consultation could either be live, video, or private. Would be up to the discretion of the person involved. So anyway, those are the things we're kicking around. Now I want to be able to duplicate that on Patreon. So the same things will be available on Patreon with an additional element. And the additional element is what I'm choosing to call story time. And if we do story time as a paid kind of membership, either on Patreon or both, then we've effectively monetized the entire channel. And I'm not sure that's where everybody really wants to go. T-Bone just blessed us with a $5 super chat and says you're a champion, Father Fish. Thank you, T-Bone. You are too, absolutely. I appreciate you. Let's see, let me get him up here. I need to, there it is. But again, posted.
Thank you, T-Bone.
Taking it all to heart, he is. So anyway, those are the thoughts we're having. Nothing is cast in concrete yet, so we're interested in your opinion and your response to these ideas, plus your suggestions as to what else we might do. Right now, what we're doing is giving everybody a wrench. Right now, what we're doing is giving everybody a wrench. Right.
Oh, got an echo.
Was that me? I don't know.
No, that was me. I did that.
Okay.
I just opened. Yeah, I just opened.
Did you see J-Dog's comment about that at 8:30? He says, Father Fish, don't do that. You can use the videos to promote the website. I was going to go back and put the link in all your videos.
Says it'll hurt the SEO of the website.
Okay.
J-Dog, of course, is putting the website together.
Yeah. And he's posted the link there too.
Spanish mackerel. Well, I like Spanish mackerel better than, yeah, that's better. I agree. Good morning. What'd you get? Let's see. Oh, look at
Good morning,
this.
Frank.
Frank?
Good morning.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Did he find
Look
him
at
another
that.
one?
He got an Empuma, and it looks really healthy.
That one's good and healthy.
Yeah, where do you want to put it?
I don't know. I need to find a place.
In my aquarium.
Is he going to come out of it?
I don't know, but
We could drop the water level.
Discus in there.
Well, we talked about it. I think it's not a good idea
Okay.
because I don't think we have adequate control over that
So
tank.
the temperature and stuff.
Whatever, yeah.
The lighting.
Yeah, this one we do, and they do well. We're probably better off not messing with what works.
Right. There are empty tanks up here by the other salamanders.
Yeah, go ahead and do that for now.
Okay. All right.
Make sure you cover it.
I will.
He's gorgeous.
Isn't he?
He
Nice.
is. Congratulations, Frank. I know he's happy.
Turn him loose in the atrium.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, put him in the pot. Try to get that pump working too. It's not working.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Wonderful. Thank you, Frank.
You got it, bud.
He got a little bullfrog.
Oh, and you said those are kind of rare. What he called. I still can't say what it is.
The Amphuma.
Amphuma.
Yeah, they're very uncommon. Yeah.
That's cool.
They are not a controlled species, though. They're not protected. I don't know why they're not. They probably ought to be, in that all of the other salamanders in the country are. So anyway, J-Dog is saying it'll hurt the website. Cynthia.
Oh yeah, she's.
What
Let's see here.
Use the videos to promote the website.
Yeah. Glenn Walton was just asking again about the largest sand size you would go for in a sand cap. It's very hard to get. Oh, he's one from New Zealand.
Oh, I was muted. I was going to ask you if he should add gravel or something.
Yeah.
You can't get the pool filter sand over there in New Zealand.
Where are we? What are we talking about?
It's at
Glenn is asking about the sand.
828.
Yeah. What can he use? He's having trouble because they don't sell like pool filter sand near him. Could he put gravel and then sand?
Where is he? Yeah, he could do that.
He'll collect his own sand. He's in New Zealand.
He said they use like that glass kind of stuff instead of sand.
Glass beads.
Yeah, glass beads.
Oh, the balls. That's worthless.
Yeah.
Blake might have an answer for him. Only Blake was here, but he's in Australia.
Okay. Yeah. Well, obviously, they haven't begun to figure out how to create balanced tanks if they're using glass beads. That's interesting. Al Wet Socks would buy a membership in a heartbeat.
Father Fish, what did you say about collecting like beach sand?
It's exactly what I was going to suggest. Is that he go down to the nearest river, creek, pond, or lake, or beach and collect some sand. Basically, from wherever you can get it, rinse out the cigarette butts and use it. Sand to sand.
Right.
Just sand to sand. Wherever you can find sand, use it. It'll be just fine. What you don't want to do is kill it. You don't want to put it in the oven and bake it. You don't want to boil it. Get the cigarette butts out of it and use it. You can get the dog poop out too if you want, although that'd probably be beneficial. But
I don't know. It's beneficial if you bury it, right? Not if it's
you got to bury it, right? Really, you want relatively clean sand on top. But the whole idea is to use the sand as a barrier to the dirt. Number one. Number two, if you were not dirting the tank, then you want 3 to 5 inches of sand in order to be able to create a balanced substrate. I don't know whether I'm belching, hiccuping, or something
I feel
else.
like something needs to be addressed this morning, Father Fish. I'm trying to reply to Cynthia, but I'll just bring it up to you if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, she's trying to use like a dead branch, like something had fallen off of a tree, and she's trying to treat it so she can add it to her tank. And I'm suggesting to her that's not something that I would want to do, because it should be something that's been soaked in water for many, 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 many years, and not something that just recently died. What do you think, Father Fish?
No, you're absolutely right.
Or should she avoid it?
I have tried to do that with what I thought were really remarkable pieces of wood that had come off of live plants. It will kill the fish. The sap that's in there, it will foul the water. So you don't want to do that. Go to a creek, a pond, a lake, a place where there's standing water that logs or a piece of the wood have fallen into, and look for something that has obviously been in there for a very long time. Long enough that it's washed out. That what's left is essentially the bare bones of the water. Now, there are basically two kinds of driftwood. One is softwood and the other is hardwood. And the softwood and hardwood are two categories of trees that are generally and widely recognized. Pine tree, for example, is a softwood. Oak tree is a hardwood. What happens when they go in water is that the pine will completely disintegrate in time over a relatively short period of time, perhaps a year or 2 years, whereas oak will take much, much longer to deteriorate, perhaps 5 to 10 years, because it's harder, it's more dense. But unless that water has had all of the sap, all of the greenness, if you will, completely purged from it, it's not going to be something that you want to put in your tank. So do not take a branch off a tree and put it in your tank. That will kill your fish. Find something that has been in the water or on land for a very, very long period of time. Driftwood on land can be used too. If it's been laying there for many years, it's become hard, dry, like bone dry. That may then take a little while for it to sink, but that'll work really well. There are exceptions. If you remember my black water tank, I put a softwood stump in that black water tank. It was a stump that had been dead and dried out for years, several years. I had it sitting out in front of my store for 3 to 4 years. It was thoroughly dried out. There was no sap, nothing left in it. It was, however, soft wood. So when I put it in the tank, it very slowly and gradually began to deteriorate. And it caused the water to become tannin because the particles of wood were sifting into the water. That's the exception. You can use a softwood that is absolutely dried out or is absolutely washed out. The reality is, if it's in water, it will have deteriorated to the point where there will not really be very much of it left to use. If it's on land and dries out, it's usable, but it's problematic. It's going to disintegrate. It's going to create a kind of environment you may not want in your tank. So you're looking for hardwood, wood that preferably has been in running water or in a lake or pond for a long enough period of time that it's completely washed out. There's nothing, there's no sap in it, there's no green in it, there's no bark on it. It's the bare bones of a piece of wood. That you can use, and you can use it effectively. I'm going to give you another exception. And it's in Florida, it's an illegal exception. But mangrove root is so dense that you can put raw mangrove root in a tank and it will not deteriorate. at least not slowly enough to create a problem in the tank. Now, it's against the law to do that in Florida because they protect mangroves and they don't want you cutting up the mangroves. And you're also not supposed to use any mangrove material. I've done this in other places and it's been effective. And I can recommend it in places where it's legal to use. It's a very beautiful root. It has tremendous convolutions. And if you'll think about it, it's a root that exists in water. So it's relatively impervious to intrusion by water. That's a rare exception to the rule. What else? Did we cover that? So Cynthia, don't break a branch off a tree and throw it in your fish tank. All you're going to do is create problems for your tank and your fish. Don't do that. Find a piece of wood that's out in the water somewhere that's been there a long, long, long time.
I tried to say that, and then she came back and said she's been soaking it for 4 hours. I'm like, no, years and years.
Okay, now if you soak it for 6 months, maybe even 3 or 4 months, but I would go 6 months and be changing the water regularly. Like change the water every month, soak it for 6 months. If it's that nice, it'd be worth doing. But it's going to be a protracted process. You can also try boiling it, but that's not going to get it because the boiling is not going to get the sap out from it. You want to debark it, take all the bark off, because that's the source of much of it, and then that layer of wood between the bark and the core of the tree, that's where all the sap is. So you got to get that off too. So anyway, if you're going to use raw wood, you need to process it and you need to take your time doing it. Don't assume you can just boil it for a day and put it in the tank. That probably will cause you to lose a lot of fish. Alex is going to hit 15K today. Wow. 4 years. Very
congratulations.
Cool. That's exciting. I just
that is very
posting
exciting.
The link.
Very good.
Come on up, Alex, and let's talk. That's exciting. Good news. Really.
That is very exciting.
How it's been on?
4 years. He just said
4
years. Yeah. I need to take a break, girls. Back in a minute.
Yeah.
Tell Alex.
Okay.
Sit tight.
Don't
Hello,
leave me
Sam
big.
Dan.
You've been leaving me big. I'm good.
But you look so
really
pretty.
Be right back.
I'm gonna like put something in front of my face.
Okay.
Here,
I'm
let's do.
trying to think of ideas. What can I put here when he does that? Mary's big. Good Lord, now we're both big. Oh, here we go. Now we share the screen. I don't know. I don't like the Three Stooges comment. You're muted. You can't be muted, Mary.
Sorry. I'm always looking down at my phone, watching it and reading it. I see Kevin made it. Ask Kevin. Is that Kevin? Is that the right one?
I don't think so. I think that's a different Kevin.
Oh, okay. Well, hello, Kevin. Al was talking about making like how they do like Aquarium Co-op and stuff. And some of them have what is it, a 6-month membership? Like you can pay for 6 months at a time. He mentioned something about maybe a yearly. I don't know. We'll have to run a bunch of these ideas by him.
Yeah. One thing that is difficult right now is Father Fish is doing something unique that nobody else is doing
Right.
with these daily streams. And
Yeah.
one thing I've liked about that is it makes him available that nobody else, you know, in the YouTube channel or Fish family is as available to get their questions answered.
Right.
So that's
on a
why
daily basis.
it's very unique. Yeah. Join the stream and you'll get
All
it
in
answered.
tanks. Oh, sorry.
So I don't know. That's a hard one to try to monetize the replays. I don't know. It's going to change that.
Yeah. I'm like you with that one though. Alex said he'll be up in about 4 or 5 minutes. He. I love his
T-Bone
he.
said he would do it for $2.99, but I feel like no matter what you do, I think everybody here would probably pay $1 or $2 for the replays, but I don't know about like we're only like a quarter of his audience. I don't know what the people
there's a lot of people.
They're coming in.
We have a lot of lurkers.
I don't know.
Buhan. Oops, I'm trying to spell.
Have a lot of ideas though, other than I just feel like we would lose that uniqueness right now that Father Fish has going on, being available to answer people's questions.
Yeah, boy, the black sand should already be watched. I don't think you'll need to do a thing to it, but yeah, and see if that'll work. My hunch is if you're getting detritus coming up from your sand, then it's not deep enough. And it may be that the lack of depth is a function of it having been there long enough that it has in effect filled up with detritus, with loam. So adding another inch of sand will increase the volume and be able to take care of more of that. Somebody's trying to come up here. Who it is?
Should be Alex.
It's Chubbs.
Oh, it's Chubbs. Hey, Chubbs.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just thought I'd give you an update on the progress of this tank. How it's
all the
coming.
Beautiful plants.
You're getting some nice color and nice growth. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
And you just planted them a couple of days ago, didn't you? Or
about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay. They look great. That new light's really doing it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely doing it.
Really nice. Yeah, it's nice.
That is awesome.
See the little baby dark
red?
What's that?
Were you going to get a second light?
I do plan on getting a second light and doing some more over here. But I just haven't got it. But you can see that willow moss is doing really good right there. And all these plants are doing great.
Oh, it looks amazing. Cannot wait to see that all jungly.
Talk about driftwood for a minute, Chubbs.
Driftwood?
Yeah.
I usually get my driftwood out the river, and I know it's been soaked for a long time. But if you find a piece of wood, like even a fresh piece of wood, and you really, really want it to go in the tank, I would leave it outside just on the porch or just in the sun for about 6 months and just let everything come out of it.
Really? Okay.
Look how pretty that is. Chubbs, that is just beautiful.
Yeah, this tank really came together really good. It grows spectacular.
A lot of growth.
Oh, yeah.
I'd probably leave it there for a year. Yeah. I just like to be on the safe side.
I know when we were in Kentucky.
All the frog pit that I got from Roe is expanding tremendously. And the lilies from the, the tiger lotus coming up. See how they
Yeah.
It's all from the tiger lotus. You can see the big leaf right there on the water.
Plant. Great plant.
Yeah. But yep. And then here's the new purple mosaics I got.
Oh, they're beautiful. The
Yeah,
females are really pretty, but that male is just stunning.
And in this light, it looks blue, but if you put a flashlight on them at night, they're definitely purple.
You can see that, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh, they're
funny.
gorgeous.
Everything looks different in
Yeah.
different lighting.
And these are the black metal lace I got.
How's that doing for you?
What's that?
How's that doing for you?
What's that?
That plant.
Which plant?
What were you just talking about? What? Oh, the black metal light you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, the light? Oh, the light's doing awesome. Yeah, the night clock prism is doing amazing.
Right.
Yeah, it really is
Greg
doing
just
good.
asked what kind it was. You found it on
Nikon
Did you
prism.
get it from Amazon?
Yeah, it's really pretty.
No, I ordered it straight
From the
from night
company.
clock. As you can see in the background, well, you can't really see, but those two in the bag, that's my golden top minnows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It's beautiful.
But yeah, all the Rotalas are doing good. All the Luigias are doing good. All the Crips are doing good. Yeah, everything's doing really good.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
Even this cardinal plant right here in the front is starting to sprout out.
Yeah.
Chubbs, you're like the Bayou George Farmer.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Finally getting starting to grow.
Really. Nice.
Yeah, everything's doing real good.
That's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
How are the gobies doing?
The gobies are doing real good. They're in a tub right here on the side. You might be able to see a little perch on the side right there. But yeah, I just got them on the side right now because I ain't got no more tank space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta get some more tanks. But yeah, this piece of driftwood was sitting in front of my friend's apartment, or well, not apartment, but trailer, for a long time. And I said, man, you think you can use that piece of wood? And I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I can use that piece of wood. And yeah, it worked out real good. The way it flattens out at the bottom right here, and then it curves up, and it goes flat to where it's up at the top, and
Right.
it actually sticks out at the top of the tank. But it worked out really well. You know, I could have a big planted area on one side, and it comes across flat on the other.
Are you worried that it's going to float away?
What's that?
You have the rock on there. Are you worried it's going to float away?
It was floating. That's why the rock is there. And I'm pretty sure I could probably pull it off by now. But yeah, it's working out good.
What is on your intake, that yellow?
A sponge,
yellow.
just a sponge.
Oh yeah, that's just a sponge to keep it from sucking up any shrimp or anything. I did put some Caradina shrimp in. Oh, not Caradina, but Neo-Caradina shrimp in here, and some Amanos. And I was worried about the Aquaclear 110 sucking them up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did
So
you get some of the black rose shrimp from Roe?
Yes, I did.
I did too,
awesome.
and man, they were. I wasn't here, and the guy just. I got black rose shrimp, but they all.
Black.
There's a
look
crystal
at
red, crystal red and hard water.
Nice.
Crystal red and hard water.
Beautiful.
That's something you don't see every day.
Yeah, that is neat, pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in love with my shrimp she sent me. They're really nice. I got some LRB shrimp in those.
Yeah, that's what I have. I have LRB shrimp and.
Yep,
I got
same thing. Yep, that's how mine are. And then
Mm,
she sent me some orange ones too. I've only seen one of them.
yeah.
But I think she sent me some bonus ones, and I didn't, I wasn't here when the guy, he just had to come check the mail and dump them in the tank or in the tub for me.
Yeah.
I figured I wouldn't have any left, but they're in there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Leaf skillyfish. I got a bunch of leaf skillyfish in here.
Oh, really? Is that a fish right there? That looks like a leaf on the right?
They're really hard to see. They're small.
Or is that a dead leaf from the sword?
I think that was
That's
just a
probably a
leaf.
I was like, well, that's neat if that's a fish.
Yeah, just so pretty.
What is that plant in the middle there?
This one here?
No, to the right of that. To the right of the lily, right
This one
there.
here? Oh, that's a Taiwan lily.
The green with the green leaves?
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Yep,
still,
that's a Taiwan lily.
yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
So it has green leaves.
Agaphilia Taiwan.
Is the plant right next to it with the red leaf the same plant or a different one?
That's a different one. That's the red leaf is the tiger lotus.
Okay. Where did you get that lily?
The Taiwan lily I got from Lucas Brett.
Pretty.
Yep. From Lucas
Is
Brett.
it just a bulb?
Yep, yeah, it does really good. Yeah.
Did you get it as a bulb or as a plant?
No, it comes as a plant. It's not a bulb plant. It comes just as rooted plant.
Oh.
Hi, Alex.
Nice.
Grandson Fish
Hello,
is here.
Alex.
Hey, grandson fish, Alex.
Good morning.
And
morning,
congratulations on your soon-to-be 15K. That's really, those are hard won, aren't they, Alex?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think it took me a year to get like maybe 500, and then it took me 2 years to get probably 2 years to get 1,000, and then after that it jumped really rapidly. It jumped to maybe 10,000 by the 3-year mark, probably 7,500, and it kind of doubled. So it's an exponential type thing. It's like once people see it, then once it gets in front of people, then it starts gaining momentum. But it's slow to start. Those first 100 or first 1,000 are the hard ones.
Yeah, you bet.
I was going to say on your membership idea, I mean, I think obviously your content and your support is worth, is worth paying membership for. But I think you have to be careful with the algorithm, just because they, if you don't allow the replays, so to speak, that's the bulk of your content. So YouTube kind of penalizes you and won't show new people your content. So you'll either need to do more blog posts or vlog posts and have those available, or leave some of the streams up. Maybe you could do like 2 days a week or member only live streams or something, where anyone can watch but only members can ask questions. That's kind of what I've toyed with.
Yeah, we are planning to do more videos. We want to get back to doing 1 or 2 videos a week, then daily vlogs.
Yeah, because it's just kind of hard, because the way YouTube is, they want the views. It's the same thing with deciding if you're going to do mid-roll ads in your videos or not. You can lose people sometimes. I've noticed I can make more not having mid-roll ads like a year ago than having them, just because people would stay and watch the whole video and the next one. And overall, that gave me, double the minutes, rather than all the people you lose at the ad break because they just drift off and click on something else.
Yeah.
I hate the ad in the middle. If it's enough, it's okay, but I don't like it.
Yeah, and YouTube used to let you decide all that really specifically, but there's some ads now where there's some that are 30 seconds long that aren't skippable. There's some that are 15 seconds, and then there's some that are skippable 15 seconds. So
Right.
the hard part is it doesn't it lets you decide what ones you're allowing, but doesn't necessarily allow you to place which kind where, which is frustrating.
I've
Yeah.
been seeing it more, and I like it when it's skippable.
Yeah, yeah. And you obviously you get paid less for that, like by the companies, but for my channel anyways, the bulk of money you get from YouTube, so to speak, is from the skippable ads still, just because, you know, they pay you a tenth as much, but they play them 20 times more. So.
And can you put it so that it like doesn't interrupt you? Because I can't stand it when someone's talking and then here comes this ad, even if it's skippable.
Yeah, you can. You can. I don't know about the old videos because I have some old ones where I tried to turn it off and people are still saying they see ads in the middle of some of them. But other people who say they're not. So I don't know if it has to do with if you're on mobile or if you have YouTube Premium, or, you know, like if that affects it at all. I think YouTube Premium, you don't see any ads. So
Right. You're paying for them.
yeah, so
Hopefully
those
it stays
people,
that way, or else they
and then
might increase your membership.
yeah, so I don't know. It's kind of weird the way all the way all that works. So
It's like when Netflix increased how much you pay monthly.
yeah, and there's a backlash too. Like some people got really mad when I turned on membership. I lost some subscribers too. Like some people are just gonna be that way, but
You might, yeah.
you know, and so that part's hard because it's easy to turn on YouTube and think that it's just, you know, whatever, just an hour of your time or something, but it, you know, it's worth something, especially when you have years of experience. So it's kind of hard. I think the hard part is you have to remember a lot of people watch a lot of channels, you know, on different times and different days. So you just have to offer something unique, which, I mean, you do have the like live feedback, but if your channel gets really, really popular, you know, then it'll be too crowded to offer the one-on-one feedback. And that's like the part where I'm getting to on my channel, whereas I still try to answer most comments, but it's right the last few months getting to the point where I've 200 comments a day or so. And so to give a good answer,
I'm sure.
I've wondered about that, how channels handle that.
The girls up here.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's like comments when I'm not live, when I'm they're just, you know, people asking questions.
Oh, right,
so
right.
Yeah,
that's very time consuming to go through all that and to comment on everything. So far, I'm still able to do that. I'm still able to comment on everything, but I'm not getting 200 a day. I'm getting like, 10 to 20 a day.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not that I don't enjoy doing it either. It's just that, you know, that's time that you need to make money at some point in your day, you know. So
well,
if you
that's
spend
the issue. Yeah, it's exactly the issue for me with these live streams. So this is 2 hours a day, and it works out to being half of the day. I'm spending essentially half a day doing this.
yeah.
And I'm making essentially nothing for it, except for the occasional super chat.
Yeah, well, I mean, I definitely have to say that for the first 2 years, I basically made nothing off of YouTube. And then, I mean, not nothing, but something like $50 a month at most, you know. And that's for 20 hours a week at least putting in. I'd say now I put a good at least 20 or 30 hours a week at least into my channel. if not 40, answering comments and things. It's definitely become my full-time job, so to speak. But even though I only have 15,000 subs, which I mean I'm really grateful for, and that's awesome, I have very like loyal viewers for the most part compared to other genres, and these fish channels do. You will too, I assume. But basically, but I mean it's so I have 15,000 subs, but I have over between 700,000 to 1,000,000 minutes watched a month on my channel.
Wow.
Which is like, for other channels, they might have 50,000 subscribers to have to get that many minutes watched. So it's partially the longer form content, just like you have longer form content rather than 5-minute videos. But I have to say, YouTube, literally for 1,000,000 minutes, they will pay me about $300 is all. That's all that adds up to.
Yeah.
And that's pre-taxes. And I have to pay 30% on taxes after that. So, I mean,
so what about
200
membership?
That's tough.
Does membership pick up the difference then?
So membership, I'm right now, I just turned it on, this month, basically. Yeah. And I was torn on what to do because I've had Patreon a while. And Patreon was about $200 a month because people would come and go, $5, $2, whatever. But the membership has really helped. For me, I think I'll lose some Patreon, which is fine because they're switching over. But I'm making right now, I think I've got 60 members right now. Hopefully that keeps growing. But a lot of them are the $1.99 members. And then YouTube takes 30% off the top of the money coming in. So
that's about $80 then.
Well, yeah, exactly. Right now, I have $200 total, like $206 in memberships a month, and that translates to $146 or something like that is what I get in my pocket. Then I have to report that to taxes, so it doesn't add up to a ton of money. So I think definitely things like merchandising, shirts, mugs, things like that. Every little stream of revenue helps. If you can have $100 from this, $100 from that, $200 from this, $200 from that, it definitely adds up a lot. But it's hard until you're gonna get into the millions of minutes a month. You really need to rely on super chats and or any other revenue you can make, because YouTube, I mean, if you look at how much people pay for Super Bowl ad time, if you were to just split up how much advertisers pay for your undivided attention, assuming it's the Super Bowl or a big event, and there's 50 million people watching, you divide that time by whatever. So YouTube is making ridiculous amounts of money, Google, on what they sell your time for, because it's targeted towards those people. It knows what your content is, what words you're saying, and so it knows to show a filter, or it knows that you're a 40-year-old female who's married and straight and living in the South, and the last thing you bought on Amazon was this or that. So it's so targeted that that advertising in traditional media would be incalculable almost.
Take offense to that.
Well,
and it's like, that advertising in the past, people would pay $5, to know that would go to a person, or whatever, for like home mailers, And so YouTube then offers you 1/10 of a penny for an ad, So It's kind of, and you know they're getting $1. You can figure it out. So I could see they're getting $1.70 and I'm getting 1/10 of a penny. So it's like, whoa, someone's making a lot of money here.
Yeah.
Right.
So the ads are just kind of an odd
It's not
thing.
the creators. It's not the creators.
No, yeah.
It's a platform. And they capitalize the platform based on their ability to attract vast numbers of viewers.
Right. I mean, you have to figure that like a lot of people now use YouTube more than their cable TV. Yeah, I do. I don't even have cable TV, so I mean, yeah. So that's the hard part though, is figuring out at what point your ad revenue is going to outstrip your membership revenue. So if you have 100 loyal followers and your ad revenue is $50 a month or something, or $20 a month, then it makes sense to, you know, have the loyal followers pay. But if you have 1 million people watching and casually, then it probably doesn't make sense to turn membership on, because the ads will probably eventually add up, you know? So I guess what I'm saying is just, you just have to kind of figure out how much you want to grow too, because it does limit your search engine optimization. Like your videos will not be as recommended if you have 5,000 subscribers versus if you're Aquarium Co-op with, you know, hundreds of thousands. You're going to see their videos suggested to watch over and over and over on people's little, you know, that determines how they're ranked partially is by popularity.
Yeah. I've noticed with the live streams, I'm getting no optimization at all to speak of. You know, my growth is membership growth, not membership. My
subscribers.
Subscriber growth has dropped to the point where it's 1 or 2 a day.
Yeah,
I'm not getting 50 a month, and it's because the algorithm is not carrying the live streams at all, and I've not been doing enough videos to pick up the difference, to be able to continue what I had going. So I'm really worse off in that respect. I'm worse off with the live streams than I was when I was doing 2 or 3 videos a week.
Yeah. So I mean, and it's just hard because I feel like I understand from a viewer point of view, you know, not wanting to pay also, or wanting to pay a very little amount because, you know, who has that much money all the time? But at the same time, you have to kind of decide, do you let the casual viewers go and kind of keep it a gated community of sorts, or do you keep growing?
I know for
you
me, I know I appreciated like your tiers in yours, Alex, because I try to support a few people, you know, in the community.
Sure.
And it makes it nice when I can do it. And I want to give more, but you know, sometimes if I can just support you some, I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. So I mean, yeah, it'll add up too. So I think that's, for me, having the $1.99 option. It shows subconsciously on a menu, you know, when you have a small, medium, and large, most people get the medium. So there's also that kind of aspect to it too, when you think about how you want to set up your tier structure. Is the $1.99 more just a, you know, hey, thanks kind of thing? Like, I appreciate the baseline.
Right.
You know, and that, I think that's something to consider. Whereas maybe $5.99 or $4.99 is where you get more content per se.
Yeah. And then you think about, like, if you offer that and everybody could, it's like the thing where you say, if everybody could give $1, you know, it could really change the channel. And That's kind of where I think about going with it. With that, you know, when it's
Oh, totally. Yeah. If everybody who watches my videos gave $1, you know, a month, I'd have
right,
I'd
Even
have
just a month.
15. I'd
right,
have $10,000 to $15,000 a month, but
right.
right now with all my revenue streams, it's around $1,000 a month. You know, so it's something to, you know, and that's pre-tax, so it's something to consider. I mean, I make as much selling fish and plants as I do from YouTube still, so it's definitely something you do because you love doing it. I mean, it's also something to do. Like Corey from Aquarium Co-op has a good point in that YouTube isn't what he was doing to get rich. He's a millionaire now because it reinforces his brand, you know. He makes $100 grand off YouTube, which sounds great, but he pays an editor, he pays for footage, he pays for other stuff too, you know, mics and sound.
Right.
But I mean, so it worked out well for him. He's one of the, you know, 0.001%.
He's very smart at what he does.
Yes. And you know, he's been doing it for like 8 years too, you know, so.
Right.
Yeah, so it's interesting in that I have a lot of people that I've been getting a lot of hate mail from, basically saying, I can't believe you turned on membership. And I'm like, I didn't take anything away from anyone. I'm still putting out the same amount of stuff, you know, like for free. If you want more, you can pay more though.
Right.
Yeah, I think LRB is doing the same thing.
You've got incredible content.
Well, yeah, LRB is a good case in point. He's making.
He makes good money.
His money selling fish. He makes good money. He's got 50,000 subscribers or approaching that.
His Patreon was up at over $2,000 a month too. So he has a very cult following as well because of the fact that if you're a member, you get access to his fish, you know, you get first dibs, so to speak.
Yeah.
So if you can offer something from your store or online, you know, or one-on-one consultation or something, it's something to think about that I'm still thinking about. Like I spend a lot of time one-on-one talking to people who I enjoy talking to. But at the same time, you think that other people have monetized that to a point. And it's just, you have to decide on your ethics too, you know, like what you're doing because you love it. And for me, I think knowledge should be attainable to anybody who's sincere at heart about wanting to acquire it and pass it on afterwards. And so that's why I struggled with the, like, you know, making like my really deep research videos, whether I wanted to make those members only or something. And I decided I can't do that. I want the 15-year-old kid who may not have any money or somebody who's laid off right now or whatever to be able to learn and then, you know, pass on the favor. But I mean, it's a capitalist society, so some people don't feel that way and think that you pay for college, you pay for, you know, school. So,
you know, those kids are going to ask for Christmas gifts and they're going to be like, Mommy, Daddy, can I get this merch?
Yeah, I hope
You're
so.
going to ask for your t-shirt. My kids do it.
Mommy and Daddy want the merch.
I'm going, we'll see.
Well, yeah, I appreciate your perception, your understanding that membership is a point in time factor financially, that it's a greater benefit to smaller channels than it is the larger channels, and that it can preclude growth to becoming larger.
Right.
So, you know, interesting.
Yeah, I think your audience changes though as you get larger.
It does.
Oh, it does, definitely.
And you get people that get very, like, I don't know, maybe bitter that they're not the 10 people in chat anymore, you know?
Yeah.
That was their friend group, and now there's 100 people showing up. And so you do lose some of your best super chatters sometimes are going to be
Right.
like, well, I'm not getting this one-on-one attention, so I'm going to go elsewhere. And
I know we've
I
talked
understand
about that
it, but it's a
before.
bummer for the creator, because it's not that for a lack of them wanting to, interact or help. It's just there's only so much time you have, especially when you run a store, right?
Very
Right.
evil.
Yeah, that's right. I think I've got to deal with where I'm at, and I've got to maximize where I am with less consideration for where I'd like to get to.
Yeah, and so the fact that you know that means that turning on membership's a good idea. You know what I mean? If you wanted to keep growing, then if you wanted to get 50,000 subscribers, you could make a lot more money when you do turn on membership. But I think you have such an intimate channel that maybe you don't need that. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. It's kind of what makes it special.
Yeah.
That we feel like it's kind of like
there are people on this channel who are making substantial contributions to the channel. Right here, there's Mary Page and Cassie B.
Totally.
They were taking out hours out of their day every day to come on here and be part of this.
And hang out with you guys.
Like me, who do it.
If it was really big, I would not be here.
You're over here once or twice a week. I mean, there are a lot of people who are making real significant contributions to this. Those are people who I don't anticipate, who I do anticipate giving a free membership to, because they're already making a contribution. So I want to be able to do that as well.
Well, I wish it would let you. Like, YouTube doesn't allow you to allow membership, which is really frustrating.
Really?
Yeah,
you have to personally pay for it.
And that drives me nuts, because there's so many people that have, I've been with my channel since 4 years ago, and I'm like, they were moderators for a year or something. And it's like, yeah, of course I want to give them a membership. So that's why I decided that I can't block off. I personally decided I'm not going to block off content. I'm going to block off my response to people, if anything, like, so that it's still quality.
I think that's very fair.
I was assuming I could do that I could do membership.
I unless I'm wrong, unless there might be a workaround, if your perks are through a third party or through your website in some way, then you could probably do that. But as far as YouTube goes, they don't let you just add someone as a member, which is a bummer,
We thought about doing it through Patreon.
Yeah, that gives you a little more control, because that's all through active links pretty much, And it's also tends to be more money, honestly, as far as per person.
Right.
But I don't know if and I don't know if that's just the nature of those people who know about Patreon and who have that discretionary income are willing to do that, or if it's something about the platform itself. I don't know.
Probably that's what we ought to do is really look at Patreon.
Yeah, I mean,
you would pay like $1.99.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. But to be able to do like story time on Patreon, we're thinking about doing some of these little 5-minute riffs that I get off on, cut them out as stories and post them as individual videos, and maybe set this up.
That's exactly what you should do in order to get your channel to keep growing.
Right,
honestly,
videos. Needs videos.
Is if you can get someone, especially if you can get someone else to do it to help you with editing, like because it's time consuming. Even if you're good at it, and I'm not the best at it, but I mean, especially if you can get someone who's quick at it to know, okay, he had a good chunk here. whether you love him or hate him, Joe Rogan is someone who has a podcast, and he takes 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute segments and promotes whatever the topic was of that section, and then it links to the 2-hour content of his long form.
Yeah,
And
I've seen people do that.
And that he started that, and it's a really good idea, I think. So.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
I bet
that
you
was
all
just
know
the
that.
tripod.
It's the cat. Peplin made a good point, though, and I feel the same way. It's not just to get the extra stuff free; it's to support the creator. You know, to appreciate what they're doing. That's my take on it too.
Really what Patreon's all about.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna have a cat giveaway.
People on Patreon.
Anybody want a free kitten? Oh, it's precious.
Alexander Lee says, I was a member of LRB for a while, and there was zero benefit to his membership, including first dibs on his website. He was dedicating so much of his time to gaming that it wasn't worth it all.
Thank you, T-Bone. T-Bone just sent you a super chat.
So if you're going to do it, I guess you need to make it beneficial.
Yeah, or you just have to be blunt. I mean,
you're probably right. I mean, we've spent this entire 2 hours talking about money, basically. And as a result, we've got about $13 worth of super chats.
Right.
Normally, unless Aquarium Copper here.
And Lee made a good comment too. Lee said, if anyone has been helped for free by Sir Father Fish, and we all have, send a sticker, buy some merchandise, give a gift showing your gratitude. Just this is a special channel. It really is. And it's welcome to anybody, even big creators, little creators. We love everyone. We learn something from everybody.
I'm on your Patreon, but if you did a YouTube membership, I think I would switch from Patreon to the YouTube.
See, I never know about that. I give $1 here and $1 there. I don't know how it works. But.
I'm more benefited by the Patreon than I am by YouTube, frankly. So what I probably ought to do then is come up with Patreon content that'll be exclusive Patreon content, and story time would be perfect.
Yep. And I suggested him sharing his personal story along the way, how he's learned everything.
Well,
but you've got a lot of great feedback in the comments too that you can check out later. Sorry, Alex, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's the delay. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're fine. I'm done.
I was just gonna say, Father Fish, you're also, people like you because you're a charismatic and entertaining character. Also, it's not just your knowledge. There's an intangible element of why people tune in to certain people. I can't remember the word for it, but in psychology, it's when people feel like you're friends even if they haven't met you. And that is
I think that pretty much is charisma.
Yeah, and it's unipolar interpersonal relationship or something like that. But it's basically, it's how all influencers on social media work, But at a certain point, I think you can also just be blunt. That's where I'm at, where I'm going to say, if you want to support the channel for $1.99, that's just a tip in the hat out on the, while I'm playing guitar on the corner.
Thank you, Greg. We have a $3 super sticker from Greg. And another one from Alan Tooth. I feel like we're on QVC right now.
I know. For $3, for $3 more, we will be on the air for another 2 hours.
Look at this. Thank you, 48.
40 years, yep. Chubbs.
Here comes Chubbs.
Oh! Big money coming in.
Father Fish, I just noticed on YouTube when I was trying to look at the end screens and learn about that, you can do like a poll, take a poll. I wonder if you could do that with today's stream and like have a poll question up about membership maybe, or whatever question you want on there for today.
Under the community tab, you can do that too. So if you go to your page, like Father Fish YouTube, and on your own page, and go to community where it lets you post things, there's a little step, an icon that looks like a step, and there's an icon that looks like a photo. And one is post a picture with your post, the other is post a poll. So you can put in a poll where people can respond there also, as well as the end card, just so you know. So it doesn't have to be linked to one video, it can be up in general too.
Yeah.
Oh, Cynthia's having trouble trying to send a super chat. She's trying, but she can't do it because it's location based on, I don't know.
It might be.
I don't know either. Oh, Cynthia.
Eligible because of the location on my YouTube channel.
It could be conversion of money and stuff too.
Yeah, Cynthia, see if you can get into Patreon. Somebody post the Patreon account.
Sorry, I feel like I came up and I was thinking, I'll talk about fish, but it just came.
Pick your brain on membership.
Well, you know, I don't know that much.
We're trying to pick everybody's brain, I think, today and see.
Yeah, we're a family.
Hear what are their thoughts and opinions and how they feel about it.
Well, and I see, I mean, there's a lot of people here too that I know watch my channel too, and people that I see, you know, all over on a lot of channels. And so I know that I appreciate being able to say, I mean, if I had a bunch of money, I'd give everybody a bunch of money, but I like being able to spend $20 a month and spend $1 to $3 on each channel that I like, you know, on 10 channels, and spend 20 or 30 bucks a month on that, you know. But that's just, I mean, that's me. Some people think, you know, it should all be free. I have to watch ads anyways. You guys are getting rich, but nobody's getting rich unless they have, you know, hundreds of thousands of. I mean, I just told you I give 1 million minutes a month. That sounds like a lot of view time. If you were to add that up, that's like a local television broadcast, and they pay $1,000 to $2,000 for a 30-second ad spot. So
Exactly.
You can see who's getting the money.
Maybe Chevy Fish has a long comment here. This is going to be worth reading. I must say, though, that some people are unable to even donate $1. We don't know what's going on in people's financial realm. I ended up migrating away from some saltwater forums because I felt guilty I couldn't support them financially. Kind of goes along with what you're saying, Alex.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel that's where I feel like I wish knowledge could be free. Like if I had my basic needs, I mean, the other thing is you don't get healthcare, you don't get retirement, you don't get anything from YouTube. So if you're trying to make a living at it, it's really a grind. So this is really like, it's really a passion thing. I think people forget that if you're spending 40 hours a week working on a channel or something, you know, it's all fine and good.
I just tried to do a poll. And
another sticker from Greg and T-Bone. Mary, did you see that? And Alan Tooth, or am I behind? Lee just sent something.
Oh, 20 pounds. Those are the ones that are, that's real money.
And then Alan Tanks sent a super after Lee.
Well, that's very kind of everyone.
Thank you.
I thought I was talking. I was telling everybody thank you, and I had myself muted.
Thank you, Jess.
When I switch screens, sometimes I don't realize it's behind. Sorry.
Somebody called my phone in the middle of it.
Thank you.
9:39.
Thank you again, Lee. Mercy.
all
Yeah,
in.
I get a little
Hey,
uncomfortable
Joe's.
when I'm on other people's channels and I hear them start talking about membership. So I
Yeah.
know where Chef is coming from. I've been there. And I'm like,
Yeah,
it makes
I've been a broke artist my whole life, so.
Hey, two things before you get off, Alex.
Yeah.
Did you notice I'm using your line drawing?
Oh, cool. I hadn't
My
seen.
icon. I put it in
Oh,
my
cool.
icon. All right.
So you like your shaggy you, huh?
Yeah, you were going to work on the tooth and the mouth.
Yeah.
And the mouth. If you could do that, that would help me. And Mary had an interesting comment, which was consistent with my take on it. Are you braver than me, Mary? You would.
I just said, I guess when I think about Father Fish, I think of him more of a classy, like almost professor kind of guy. And you captured more of the man in the sea kind of look. You know, you captured his spirit more than I like that one picture that you have on your sticker that it looks like you're all proper. I don't know why. I just do. Thank you,
Sure.
gosh. But I think the picture's wonderful. We were just talking about it this morning. Like, really love it, and he's got it used as his icon.
Because when I asked him originally, I said, "Father Fish, give me the picture that you would like to represent yourself," and he said, "I don't know. Pick anything from my live stream." So I picked something from a live stream.
I thought it was great. We need help getting this T-shirt thing together. We need that on a T-shirt and the Father Fish Shoal thing. The reason I didn't have those made was because they were homemade, and I'm afraid they won't. They're done with the Cricut. I don't think they'll hold up. But if we could have them, if we could have them made like by Teespring or Zazzle, but I'm not sure how to do that for him.
Oh yeah, I can help out with that.
As long as it's still heat transfer vinyl, and as long as you have a good press. But I agree with you. I'm not familiar with T-shirt companies.
I have another charge for you, Alex.
Yes.
Try to come up with a logo that would be the letter F, maybe twice in the shape of a fish.
Oh, sure. That's what I do for my day job. So I'll definitely play with that.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, logo design is what I focus in. So. I was going to say too about sand really quick. People are asking about sizes of sand and all that stuff. What matters too is what it's made of. So in the Northwest, we don't have coral sand like you have in Florida. We have sand that's made out of granite and basalt. So it's very, very dense, but very, very fine. But it doesn't affect the TDS whatsoever. Whereas some places, like if you're living in, say, the Philippines, and you go to a saltwater beach, their sand's probably going to be coral, a lot of it, and shell base too. And so it may have already been leached of all of its TDS and alkaline qualities, but you might want to double check what those properties are before you use a ton of it. If you have guppies, great, put a bunch in. But if you're trying to keep rasboras or tetras or something, you may need to cap it or something.
Not all sand is equal, I guess, is it?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could get sand up here that's alkaline, but the sand up here is totally neutral.
Yeah, we don't use much, or I don't use much crushed coral. The silica sand that I use, the pull filter sand is silica, and it's totally inert.
Yeah, I use that too.
Yeah, and that's why I use it.
Al.
Because it is inert. Mary.
Oh, no, keep going, because it was something for Alex. Somebody just asked him a question. I didn't know if you could see the chat.
Oh, I can't see it right now. No, what's up?
Okay. Millions and Sons just asked if he's recently infatuated with darterfish of all flavors. Do you have any experience with them? Some are so colorful.
Yeah, you need highly oxygenated water, and it needs to be cold usually. And I don't mean ice cold, but it needs to be very well oxygenated, running water. I mean, a hill stream tank is definitely what you want to look into. I can tell you that even like shiners and fish that can withstand warmer water, like the darters need real, like, 500 gallons an hour, or not an hour. Let me think what it would be. Like for a power head in there, you'd want to put like a 250 or a 500 in there for the power head on like a 40 breeder or larger. And then you need to have cold water, as in somewhere between 55 and 65 degrees. Yeah, you don't want it to get above 70 ever. Yeah, because darters live, up in Maine, and they live in Washington State, and they live in New York, and so you think, yeah, they can withstand 70-degree creeks in the summer, but the rest of the year, that's either snow melt or underwater aquifers and things like that coming up as streams. So
I haven't heard of any good ways to cool your water, though.
That's
on a regular basis.
You have to buy a chiller, yeah, which is expensive. So, unless you have an outside tank or your house is 55, 60 degrees in the basement or something, that's hard, because the fish darters won't live a long life in over 70-degree water. You can keep them for a while, but they think it's summer, and with those fish, they need seasonality, especially if you want them to spawn at all or to color up well. They need that TDS fluctuation and cold season and warm season, and that's why we don't see those in the hobby, honestly. Even though they are beautiful.
What do you use to keep it cool?
You have to buy a chiller usually.
So you have that on your tank?
No, I've always done it by keeping it outside, like on a patio. And I live in Washington, so most of the year in Seattle, it's like right now it's 45 degrees outside where I am right now. And so
like a night here and there.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're in the South, you're blessed for keeping the tropical fish. I have to pay a bunch of money to keep the room warm or to keep heaters on, but to keep it cool is a whole, the same battle if you're in the South.
For sure.
And I've heard people say you can keep some of those fish at 75 or 74, but my experience is just that they don't keep their color, they don't keep their vitality, and they definitely don't spawn when you keep them more than a month or two at tropical temperatures. They need to be subtropical, if not cold.
Well, they get down to close to freezing in the winter. They really can tolerate very, very cold temperatures.
Yep.
They have antifreeze in their veins.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, they're studying it. Goldfish too, even. They're trying to figure out how they can use that for the military in like polar regions. They're trying to figure out how they can come up with a shot to save people from hypothermia using the same proteins that goldfish use.
Yeah.
Right.
That's wild.
Yeah, I've been wanting to keep sticklebacks, and I can't keep them in Florida.
Yeah.
They just don't live for me. It's not cold enough.
How cold can you keep a tank, Fatherfish?
How cold can I keep mine? Well, I've got a chiller now, but I can't get below 75.
Oh, yeah, that's hard.
Not in the summer.
Yeah.
In the winter,
I was gonna
it's
say,
not a problem.
Yeah, sticklebacks will handle up to 90 degrees, but only for like a month, and then they'll hang out in really hot water in my area. Like the ponds get very hot in the shallows, but likewise they freeze too. So they're kind of an incredible fish. But yeah, I love sticklebacks. They're fascinating, even if they're not the prettiest fish.
Oh, they really are. Yeah,
I
love.
They have
I've been collecting sticklebacks since I did a lot of sticklebacks when I was a child in the Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah,
They were small too. They were the little ones, and they were just so interesting. I also got pipefish. We had a lot of pipefish in the bay at the time.
Are you talking about like pike minnow type fish?
No, PIPE.
Oh,
like
pipe. Yeah.
Seahorse.
Yeah,
Like,
those are cool.
like stretched out seahorses.
Yeah. You got a lot of those in Florida too.
Oh yeah, they're loaded. Yeah, plenty of them.
I love Tampa. When I come down to Tampa, I'm just a nerd. I go down to every dock or body of water and look in the water, and I'm just overjoyed.
Next time you get here, we'll get together.
Yeah.
Go out and do some collecting.
I can't wait to get back down there. This stupid lockdown stuff and virus stuff. It's old. When it hits the holidays, I mean,
you bet.
I'm over it.
Yeah, we all.
Rebuilding your brand. Hello. All in.
I don't know about you, but Florida is opening back up. I don't know how it is with you. I know in Maryland it's a little bit more. It's way more strict, and it's been more strict than it has in Florida.
They're staying strict in Seattle.
Here they're already like, oh, we were told we can, not wear face masks anymore. Like my hairdresser wasn't even wearing hers, and she's like, do you mind? And I was like, well, not really, but I'm wearing mine.
Yeah.
That's what I was told, to still wear it. Like if you did test positive, like the quarantine period is over, but you need to practice the 6 feet and mask rule if you did test positive. So I wore mine, and I told her that I had tested positive.
Oh, you've had it?
Surprised by that. Mm-hmm.
How was it for you?
I thought I just had a cold, and I think I was talking to you when I was starting to get my cold symptoms.
Oh.
And so that's when it started, and I just felt like a very mild flu symptoms with head congestion, and I was taking Advil cold and flu, and it wasn't making a big difference at all. It was like I might as well not have taken it. And then I lost my sense of smell and my sense of taste within about a week. And it the congestion went away for the most part within like a day. Like I had a runny nose for a day and it was gone the next day. But for me, it was like if I tried to do any kind of work, I got really tired. So if I was not doing anything like sitting here, I'd be fine. But if I got up to clean the fish tank, then I was feeling really tired.
Oh, well, I'm glad it wasn't too hard on you. We actually just lost our neighbor to it, so it's just crazy how it affects different people differently.
Well, and I think my son probably got it from school because he had a temperature of 100 degrees for a day, and I kept him home. So I think he probably passed it on to me.
Yeah, it's so bizarre because we had a neighbor who was 40 who died, and then just kind of unexpectedly, and then we had
it was scary listening to the news at that time. I was like trying not to listen to the news and how other people my age were like dying from it after 2 months of contracting it, and I'm going, oh, okay, I don't want to listen to the news right now.
Yeah, but
it is to deal with it immediately. If you can knock it out at the beginning, then you see, I think that's what happened with Trump. They knocked it out right away and cleared it up. I had the same experience last February. I was in the hospital for a blockage in my kidney. I contracted it I was treated immediately with antibiotics, which knocked out both the problem I had with my blood and the flu, and I got over it in 2 days.
You had corona too?
Yeah, in February.
Oh wow, that's super early.
Well, they
Wow.
were testing, so I know my husband was sick in February. It's possible. I think he thinks he had it in February, and none of us got sick when he was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, the other thing is Trump got a plasma infusion of
Exactly.
Regeneron, so nobody else gets that.
No,
really.
no.
That
know.
takes
Some
that
doctors
takes.
don't even come in. We're not treating
It's
COVID.
available universally now.
It's not, because it takes 50 people that have had the virus in the last 60 days to give plasma to make that the infusion he got, which they've given to other people, other places, but they're just not going to be able to produce that for everyone, you know.
The quantity, yeah.
But what it is it's, you know, the exact antibodies you need, and they got it to him because they were testing him daily, so they knew the second it was detectable, too.
Right.
But they just came out with a report too that, for what it's worth, I don't know, they keep changing their mind, but the recidivir is now, they decided, is not helpful to severe cases. Which is,
but it's helpful with early cases, and that's really where it's been used.
And the problem is, though, like even here, if you just thought you had a cold, you know, I didn't think I needed to go in and get tested. But then when I heard someone I'd been around tested positive, then I went ahead and got tested. But a lot of people aren't getting tested just even for cold symptoms, and I think they should, because after I did get tested, they were like, yeah, if you have like any kind of symptom at all, go get tested.
Well, the real problem.
People are reluctant because then it means they have to.
People, yeah, I think there are people who are immune to flu in general. You know, I've never had flu in my life.
Yeah, me either. I think I had it after I had a flu shot, and then it might not have been the flu. It could have just lowered my immune system, and I just caught something.
Yeah, I mean, comorbidities. You know, I'm diabetic, I'm overweight, I have heart problems, I have kidney problems. You know, just go down the list, I got it all. But it's not something that I'm around people all day and have been since day one.
Right.
And
so you're like a teacher. Teachers don't usually get sick because they're around that all the time, and nurses. And those are the people who usually don't catch things because their immunity is so well established.
Build up immunity. Yeah.
We've got a couple of comments saying that this conversation might not be the best for the algorithm. I don't know.
Just don't say the actual name of the full thing or the location where it started.
I don't think I did.
Okay.
I don't think we have.
Okay.
But
we're live. They're not going to shut us down live. I don't think.
No, it's for replay.
Yeah, you're usually safe.
Like your replay, if you say the name of it fully, the proper name, or there's a few things you can say. They just won't show your thumbnail to people. They'll have to come to your channel and decide to watch the video. They're not going to hide the video or anything, but that's what people mean by it not being good for the algorithm, is it won't suggest it if you say the F word or something more than once, I think.
Yeah. Usually, well, I know a lot of streams.
Oh yeah, a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't care at all. I mean, they'll just blow through it and say, "Algorithm be darned."
Yeah. Right.
That's not what they say.
Yeah, I don't think it makes all that a difference to me.
Well, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I was just trying to share my experience with it.
Yeah, everybody's experience.
Other people that I was very scared because.
Yeah, I bet you were.
News. So I hope
I would be.
Helped other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I have lupus, so I have, you know, an autoimmune issue, and I have gotten the flu where I'll have a 104-degree fever from just a seasonal flu, and so I'm nervous about it here. But I know people who've had a bunch of comorbidities. They've had actually tested positive for it, and they didn't even know they had it. And then I know, like our neighbor, who was a runner, and like, I mean, he was in really good shape and had 2 little kids, and he passed away from it. So
Wow.
it's kind of bizarre, you know.
And you know, like that's happened to runners in the past too. Just runners all of a sudden dying for no reason.
That's
So
true. Yeah.
that happened pre-CV. What do we want to call this? I think we're gonna have to be like pre-COVID.
Yeah. Don't add a number to that though.
Remember pre-COVID days?
Well, thank you guys.
Oh, I'll say one more thing real quick too. And that is that the scariest thing that we don't know yet is that, for instance, polio, there's conditions that don't surface for 50 years after you had your first polio outbreak. And it's just the same with like chickenpox or herpes. You know, you can get shingles like 30, 40 years later.
Yeah.
So that's the other part that they just don't know about this. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe you'll have better immunity, but maybe you'll have some other issue. So that's the other thing I think why they're saying maybe keep masks on, you know, just in case, but who knows? Something to think about.
You know.
Good advice though.
There are risks walking out the front door.
Yep.
Right.
Live your life.
We take that chance every day, just leaving our house.
Really?
Yep. I could get some cat scratch fever here.
Stay in your house, right?
Yep.
They want to make us all hermits.
Right.
Cat scratch fever is no joke.
No, I've had it before working at the vet. It's
bad.
It's
Yeah.
really bad. It's really from any kind of animal that you get exposed.
Yeah.
You know, like the bacteria from their teeth or nails.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I didn't
nasty
even think
stuff.
about it until
It
now.
gets all your lymph nodes. It gets in your lymph node. Oh God, it hurts. Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder
Well,
if I've
thank you.
read it.
Thank you two ladies for hosting, and thank you, Father Fish, as always. I'll
Alex,
see you next
wonderful
time.
to have you with us.
And thank you, Alex.
Love
We
it.
always enjoy you coming up.
Oh, of course, I didn't really say anything about fish today, but my 2 cents on the channel membership stuff for what it's worth.
There's a few
We love
comments
it.
for
We
you.
love it all.
Oh, I was just going to
Yeah,
say,
go ahead, Mary.
oh, he's come. Oh, nothing. I was just telling him he's got a few comments in there when he goes back and rewatches the lives or rewatches the stream.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out. I'll hop out and check it out. You guys have a
Okay.
great day.
You too,
Thank you,
Alex.
Alex.
Bye, Alex.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you,
We're
Father
gonna-
Fish.
We're going to
Thank
listen
you.
to
Sort this one out.
Bye, Frank.
Let's talk about
Is
fish,
he still
babe.
there?
Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish.
Hello.
Was that the Baltimore Aquarium? I've been there.
Fish, baby.
Yep.
Let's talk about you and me.
Not from
Let's
that
talk
angle.
about the
From
good
the
things and the bad things that can be. Let's talk about fish. Fish. Let's talk about fish.
I got the wrong one up.
Fish.
We're admiring the Baltimore Aquarium.
I know.
Instrumental break.
Father Fish. I'm good. How are you?
Let's
I
talk
do.
about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that
Are you
may
selling
be.
or buying?
Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish. Fish.
Okay.
Let's talk about you and me.
What do
Let's
you
talk
have?
about
Yeah.
all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish.
I do 50 cents a
Let's talk
gallon store
about
credit.
fish.
25 cents a gallon cash. That's because I sell them for, I sell them cheap. You can't get much money.
What are Joe's tips and tricks?
Bye, Joe. Bye, everybody. Bye, Chubbs. Bye, Cassie. I'll talk to you in a little while. Bye, Father Fish.
Bye-bye, all.
Bye, everybody. Love y'all.
Bye, guys.